Hello friends, and welcome to DisasterScope. Today, we're covering a real and devastating weather event that just unfolded in Guangdong, China. Days of intense, unrelenting rainfall led to record-breaking flash floods. I'll take you right to the scene to show you just how powerful and destructive this flood really was. And while we hope none of us ever face something like this, it's important to witness the reality. Please subscribe if you believe in honest, fact-based coverage. And if you have thoughts or questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'm always here to bring you the truth as it happens. Now, let's dive into what really happened.
Moisture.
天空格林位置农资预警，我啦干咗白话啦，地球啲嚟读音噶啦，注意车速啦，是个清不要恶心啊味啊。
Imagine waking up and your street is gone. Not flooded, gone. Replaced by a fast-moving river full of debris, mud, and terror. This isn't a Hollywood movie or a doomsday scenario. This is real, and it's happening right now in southwestern China. Torrential rains have slammed into provinces like Sichuan, Chongqing, and Yunnan. Entire neighborhoods have been washed out. Mountainsides have crumbled, and some villages, they've just vanished, like they were never there. Over just a few days, what started as heavy rain became a full-blown flood emergency. Roads? Gone. Bridges? Snapped. Homes? Underwater. What's happening in China's heartland should worry everyone, because these extreme weather events aren't just somewhere else anymore. They're becoming the new normal. And no matter where you live, California, Florida, New York, Kansas, we're all connected to this storm in more ways than we think. Kept coming.
对面公路安完，那边房子都住的。 那上来好高啊！
Let's start with Sichuan, one of China's largest, most important provinces, known for its rivers, mountains, and spicy food. But this week, it became known for something else. Relentless, unforgiving floods. In just 72 hours, more than 600 millimeters of rain dumped across northern and central Sichuan. That's almost 2 feet. And for perspective, that's more than Los Angeles gets in an entire year. Entire towns woke up underwater. Sidewalks disappeared. Cars were flipped and floated down streets like plastic toys. And in rural counties, where farming is a way of life, rice paddies became lakes. Vegetable fields washed away. Hilltop tea plantations literally slid off the slopes. Imagine being a farmer who just spent the entire year preparing for harvest, only to watch it all disappear in a brown wave of mud. The roads didn't fare any better. In places like the outskirts of Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan, roads cracked like dry clay under the pressure. Bridges collapsed, Mountain trails, wiped out. Even rescue crews had trouble getting in. Emergency vehicles were swallowed by mud and floodwater. Local volunteers were using inflatable rafts, not for training, but to deliver water and medicine. And through it all, the rain kept coming. No breaks, no warning, just wave after wave. From July. Now let's move east to Chongqing, a massive mountain city built at the meeting point of two major rivers, the Yangtze and the Jialing. Known for its steep streets, futuristic skyline, and spicy hot pot. But now, it's underwater and breaking apart. The flooding in Chongqing wasn't just water, it was the earth itself giving way. Hillsides collapsed like crumbling cake. Landslides swept down into residential neighborhoods, snapping power lines and blocking entire towns. In districts like Zhejiang and Wanzhou, storefronts vanished beneath murky water. Traffic lights blinked above submerged roads. People stood on rooftops waving towels, hoping someone would notice. One rescuer described it like this: "It's not a flood, it's an invasion. The land is folding in on itself." Chongqing's highways, shattered. Its massive logistics hubs, where packages and parts move across China every minute, flooded. Warehouses filled with electronics and food were destroyed. Trucks had no way in or out. Supply chains frozen. And it's not just material damage. Entire communities were left without power, drinking water, or medical access. And while emergency crews rushed in, many roads were blocked, and helicopters had to drop supplies by air. By mid
turning streets into rivers, and mountainsides into landslides. Over skies are still threatening.
Further southwest, in Yunnan province, things took a darker turn. This isn't a city. It's a land of mountains, deep valleys, and remote villages. When the rain hits here, it doesn't gently rise. it explodes. In towns like Zhejiang and Jiaodong, flash floods ripped through the landscape. Riverbanks burst. Fences and footbridges were ripped away in seconds. Whole roads disappeared in brown waves. In the highlands, boulders the size of small trucks came tumbling down. Houses were crushed. Some villagers were trapped for days with no signal, no power, no help. Scenic towns, once tourist magnets, went into full lockdown. Hikers were stranded. Roads were declared unsafe. Landslides blocked all exits. In Pur, emergency shelters popped up inside schools. Volunteers handed out rice, blankets, and boiled water. Children slept side by side on gym floors, many too scared to speak. And again, it kept raining.
In the desert. The net. Speed. Farmer.
Behind every flood statistic, there's a real human story. A mother in Sichuan carrying her child through waist-high water, clutching a bag with everything she owns, a photo, a passport, maybe some medicine. An elderly couple in Chongqing watching their front porch collapse into the river they've lived by for 50 years. A teacher in Yunnan using an old chalkboard to paddle her students across a flooded field. These aren't just numbers. These are lives, families, memories, gone in minutes. People lost homes, businesses, crops, everything they built. And yet, through the horror, something remarkable always shows up in disaster. Resilience. Neighbors forming human chains to rescue strangers. Boat owners lending their vessels to deliver food. Teens helping carry sandbags for elderly folks they've never met. These moments, they don't go viral, but they matter.
Northern.
One question keeps coming up. Why does this keep happening? The short answer? Climate change, supercharged by outdated infrastructure. China's drainage systems, many of which were built decades ago, simply aren't built for this kind of rainfall. And it's not just China. Cities across the world, from Houston to Bangkok, are facing the same problem. Urban areas have paved over rivers, wetlands, and natural floodplains. When water falls fast, it has nowhere to go. The system chokes, the city drowns. And while governments pour billions into dams, pumps, and levees, they're often just playing catch-up. What's worse, these extreme storms aren't rare anymore. What used to be a once-in-a-century flood is now happening every 3 to 5 years. The planet is hotter. The air holds more moisture. The storms come faster, stronger, and with less warning. Recovery time? Shrinking. Some cities are trying to adapt, building sponge cities with permeable roads, rooftop gardens, and green zones. But for many places, it may already be too late.
We hope.
What's happening in China is not just China's problem. Whether it's fires in California, floods in Germany, or typhoons in the Philippines, this is the global climate reality. And it's not slowing down. The floods in Sichuan, Chongqing, and Yunnan should wake us up, all of us. Because if these regions, with their tech, their money, and their manpower, still can't stop the water, what does that mean for everyone else? It means we have to rethink the way we build, the way we prepare, the way we respond.
Wrong.
Philippines, Taiwan, and South Korea faced
Thanks for watching this in-depth report from DisasterScope. If you found this video powerful or eye-opening, please thumbs up, like, speech balloon, comment your thoughts below. Bell subscribe for more real-world disaster coverage. Because we don't just chase storms, we explain them. Stay informed, stay prepared, and most of all, stay safe.
最上面还有人那个平路的，哎嚯，一平路上的。
方法呢？